What's up, my know-it-alls? Well, it is that time. That's right, it's time for the Know-It-All Files. Welcome back to the Know-It-All Files. I am, of course, your host, Mr. Know-It-All. What are the Know-It-All Files? The Know-It-All Files are where we take the opportunity to, I take the opportunity to go across the internet and find questions that you've had about Star Trek and other pop culture things. Specifically, though, this is the Star Trek edition. And so I've searched the internet, I've got your questions, and we're going to start answering them right now. But first, computer, play that intro. All right, welcome back. That's right. Okay, here we go. We're going to jump into it. So, computer, what is my very first question?
What was the most dangerous alien species in any Star Trek series?
You know, that's a great question. What's the most dangerous species in the... I think... Okay, so the tongue-in-cheek answer is whichever enemy that the plot requires to be dangerous. No, but let's go by what we've seen. It's easy to have thought maybe, I don't know, like Klingons in the early days were very aggressive and whatnot and dangerous and things of that nature, and possibly even things like the Borg come to mind, or the Dominion, or any number of those kinds of species, or any of the stuff we've seen, species 8472, as well as any number. With that said, I believe the truthful answer, and this is not me being, I'm not trying to get on a soapbox whatsoever, I promise. Humans, we are. We're the most aggressive and dangerous alien species out there in Star Trek. We predominantly insinuate ourselves into all kinds of situations. We find ourselves tripping over our own feet sometimes, and at the end of the day, we're the ones who are quote-unquote boldly going. And of course it's our show, so why wouldn't we be? But anyway, so yeah, I hope that answers your question. Hey, comment below, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your take on just what you guys think is the most dangerous alien species in Star Trek. You're more than welcome to agree with me. Otherwise, if you have your own thought, I would absolutely love to hear it. All right, here we go. Moving on. Computer, next question.
In Star Trek, why don't away teams use portable force fields or shields to prevent themselves from being killed?
Funny that you ask. There actually was, it was in the old animated series, Star Trek the Animated Series, and they actually did depict the away teams with these kind of white belts. They had a little Starfleet Delta on them. It was a white belt, and it was sort of protection. It was an out of universe. It's a animator's discount way of trying to not have to animate an entirely new outfit for the characters once you've built your models. So then all you're doing is having to put like a little jaggedy yellow shield around them and whatnot. And they go away missions. It's easy. But yeah, I remember that was. But no, the truth is that. So why don't they? A portable force shield. Not only is it very, very power and energy requirements are huge. You have to remember, shields modulate. Shields constantly are shifting and moving. Shields aren't just a static thing that stays there. Shields are energy that moves, and specifically you have these shield emitters that are doing their job and just constantly pushing. What happens is, great example, Tony Stark, in Avengers Endgame, or Avengers Infinity War, he's fighting Thanos, and as he's creating his shield, this metal shield, you can see the nanites leaving his body, leaving the back exposed in order to help reiterate, because he's destroying the nanite. The nanites are being destroyed, the old one's having to make up the difference. So what do? They come off his back, there's a hole where his back should be, okay, where they should be. Similarly, the shield generators are doing a specific thing to create a certain level of strength. As the shields get hit by things, energy, hard constructs, whatever it takes, anything that's hitting it, they are going down. Why are they going down? Because the amount of energy required to continue to output that shield, that energy generator can only do it so long. And so what happens is the minute it gets a hit, it starts trying to work that much harder. The problem is it can't fill a gap and fix something that continually is being attacked. There's no way it can fill the cup, so it's trying to hold back. That's why you get those percentages where people are like, shields are down 20%, 30%, 20, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, going the other direction. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. That's the best answer that I know of, so to speak. So, all right. But hey, comment below. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think the personal shield generator is is it a good thing? Is it a good idea? Is it a crazy idea? Would love your thoughts and opinions for sure. So, all right. So here we go. There we go. Computer, Go ahead and give me your next question.
Are Klingons naturally stronger than humans? Worf says that very few people on the Enterprise can break his bones, but he doesn't appear to be any stronger than Riker. For reference, Michael Dorn and Jonathan Frakes are both 6 feet 4 inches and about the same weight.
Okay. So there is... Vulcans are physically stronger than humans because Vulcans come from the planet Vulcan, which has a higher gravity than Earth. It isn't hugely high, it isn't a massively difference, but it's enough of a difference. It also has to do with the altitude and so they, for instance, they can hold their breath longer. Their lungs are stronger. They are stronger because of their gravity. The atmosphere is a little bit thinner, so therefore you get it's a little difference. And my point is, all those things create a quote unquote stronger species. Come to Klingons. Klingons are not inherently stronger than humans. Your average strength Klingon and your average strength human would be more or less a comparable match. Where it gets tricky is in how their bodies are constructed. For whatever reason, Klingons have evolved over the years so that their skull, starting at their nose ridges, this is what the ridges come from, all the way back, and it goes down, and you've seen in Next Generation when they did back spinal surgery on Worf, all the way back to his tailbone. All of that is designed to strengthen the body and move certain so that you can take more abuse, you can take hits. You are physically designed to be a more superior warrior. It is a natural evolution of their species. Does that make them stronger? No, it makes them stronger in context. That means if you were in a headbutting contest, Worf would win all day long, twice on Sunday. So at the end of the and other factors come into that too. For instance, Worf could probably lift more strictly because his spine can handle the compression from being able. It'll strengthen and reinforce him being able to do that. But musculature, they're comparable to humans. They aren't actually stronger. They're just built tougher. I think tougher would be the better word to use. So comment below, let me know your thoughts on how you think Klingons stand up to humans. And if you have any thoughts canon-wise, specifically, do you want to cite for me? I would love to take a look and love to comment more about that so we could talk more about all these things together. All right, so here we go. Computer, next question.
How often is Earth's society/people depicted in Star Trek?
Okay, so Earth's society and its people are depicted often in Star Trek, but not often, rather, because you got to remember, Star Trek's focused on it's about Starfleet, it's about going out in space, exploration, those adventures and things like that. So whenever they focus on Earth, it's either at Starfleet Academy, Starfleet headquarters, those kinds of things. Maybe it's in flashback to a person's human family or human sets of things. It's worth noting that the vision of Earth's future, kind of that depicted in Star Trek, the one where humanity has overcome poverty, war, things of that nature, social ills and whatnot. It's basically a utopian society. Well, so this serves as the backdrop for the entire series and informs. You have to remember, the series was designed originally so that it was never designed to show the fallibility of humans. It was always designed, and I know it does that now. It doesn't matter. The point is, it was designed, Gene Roddenberry wanted us to show human beings had come so far and overcome so many of our adversities that we were able to go now into the stars, meet other species, and help them through their adversities, whatever those might be. And that's huge. That's a big part of what made Star Trek. It's a big part of sort of why we lead the charge in terms of, it's humans, Earthlings, the whole whatever. But Earth, Starfleet, this whole progressing exploration forward and whatnot. So yeah, I like the dichotomy. I like the way that we are kind of presented with all of that information. And I guess back in the original series days, Gene Roddenberry had decided Earth was not really going to be shown or focused on, mainly because, again, the idea was if we have bettered ourselves, we go forward and teach and kind of move that particular move that needle forward in terms of helping other species. So yeah, man, right on. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that humans are represented? How humans are represented? Do you think that we're represented well? How often do you remember seeing Starfleet represented, or the human side of Starfleet? I know there was the episode with Picard and his vineyard, which is probably the least Starfleet of all those early versions of things that we were being shown, as well as anytime we saw the past and whatnot in the original series. So yeah, comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We'll talk more about that in the comment section below. I'll see you down there. Computer, next question.
Is Section 31 a separate entity from Starfleet?
So the short answer is no, but the less simple answer is yes and no. Section 31, according to canon we have now with Enterprise, Section 31 was originally rolled into it predates Starfleet, but was rolled into the mandate for Starfleet. And so it is both a part of, yet outside of the actual moving forward of Starfleet. So Section 31's been around for a long, long time, and kind of continues that tradition, so to speak. Because I know the first time we see Section 31 is in Deep Space Nine, and Deep Space Nine really kind of it fit really perfectly into the narrative because of everything going on. So at the time, Deep Space Nine was hip deep in the Dominion War, and what better time for secret organizations to start coming out and spy type stuff to begin to evolve and happen, other than for Section 31 to suddenly become the standouts. I'm willing to go back and say that possibly even the away mission that brought Captain Jellicoe to the Enterprise in the Next Generation was probably a product of Section 31. Now, obviously, you sit and go, how can you say one thing comes after the other? You take Star Trek as a canon and you sit here and say, okay, if this is true here, then it was also true throughout all of this. And you begin to kind of say, okay, fine, let's take a look then and see. And you look at the nuance in between. Section 31 fits shockingly well into the established canon and history, meaning there are things that we sit here and we look at in Star Trek and go, when was that the case? Like, when did that happen? Why was that the case? And the only explanation is because it had to do with an organization like a Section 31. So, all right, well, comment below. Let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are regarding Section 31 and the ultra secretness of it. Should it be a part of, do you think it's a part of Starfleet? And if so, what's your basis for that idea? I'd love to talk and have that conversation, and I will see you down in the comment section for that. Well, guys, there you go. Now you know, and if knowing is half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. I'm really excited to be putting on a new Know-It-Alls files, especially now that I have all these new subscribers to check it out. This is something that we do on a fairly regular basis, or at the very least we try to. I look forward to seeing you guys again. Never forget, everyone loves a know-it-all.